it needs that reflected in its football. It's a very football place. It's a big deal to them, and it's a complete, a fucking tragedy that this has happened to the people of Naples. Do you know what I mean? Maradona was the last god, and the problem is everyone's waiting for the next Maradona, but it's not going to happen.
Right, I
complete one-off fucking genius. Right? I know I'm going to go on a bit, but
where are they?
Flawed genius.
Passion, you carry on, kid. You just carry on, mate.
But at the moment, I mean, they're struggling. They've just changed manager last week, and I'm not sure how that's going to go. I don't know if that's going to work. Last week they started fucking around with the managers. They went down to Serie B, which was again.
Are they back in Serie A now?
Yeah, they're back up there, but they've got like a split presidential sort of scenario, 2 presidents, and it's all a bit of a mess. It's a messy business. The club isn't being handled in a professional way, I think, and the people deserve a lot better, and they'll get it eventually. So I can say.
Do you feel do you feel you make an uncompromising football manager? Are you a man motivated?
I couldn't manage a football team to save my life, to be honest, mate. Couldn't do it. Couldn't fucking do it. G could. I mean, he had trials with Bristol City, of course, which leads into the next football scenario.
Unfortunately, I did. No, not for Bristol City. No, it was Bristol Boys, which was kind of the same lead on to Bristol City, really, and Bristol Rovers. But yeah, I'm a good football player.
Well, you scored a great goal in the what was that? The Massive Attack versus Blur or something? Euro 2000 game at Wembley.
No, get it right, John. It was the Wembley England versus Scotland match at Wembley.
What, you were Gaza, flicking it over your head and volleying it into the net?
I'm better than Gaza.
But you scored a great goal, I remember.
John, do you remember who insisted on that goal?
Was it Del Nair?
I mean, it was a great left foot assist. It set him fucking free in the area. Do you know what I mean? We slotted it past the keeper
with his knobbly knees.
Perfect.
Wasn't Gaz from Supergrass sick during that game because he was running around too much?
Gaz was spending his time falling over, wasn't he? The ball was quite ridiculous, really.
It was also the most embarrassing days of my life. You know what I mean? They took us to Wembley and had our names on our shirts in the dressing rooms and all that shit. And Jeff first gave us our medals, and it was all beautiful. It was like boys' own stuff, but
yeah.
30 seconds into that match,
you were dying.
We were just fucking dead, all of us. Everyone sort of like.
It was the funniest thing you've ever seen on video.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I've actually got the video of it. When you see us playing football, it was kind of hilarious. Yeah, we thought we were having it large, and we were shit.
Oh, you got a video of the event, did you?
Yeah,
you got the whole lot.
It's
you're fucking flying down the wing. Do you know what I mean? As far as you can't see anything, it's just a fucking motion blur going past your face, and then you're just trotting. Do you know what I mean? On that big pitch, you've already made a fucking dent in the turf. It's a nightmare.
But then, having said that.
Was it a hallowed visit to the hallowed turf though?
Well, the good thing about it, the funny thing about it really is,
walking into the dressing room. And
not even professional football players haven't even reached Wembley, and the fact that we got the opportunity, the good thing about it, the fact that we got the opportunity, that we got the opportunity to play there, was brilliant.
You know what I mean? We didn't sit that.
Blaggers. Disgraceful.
Blaggers, all right.
Absolutely.
Top blaggers, mate.
Absolutely. There's none better, I assure you. Right there. Pardon me. Alan Cook. Come on down, asked Massive Attack. Is the artwork featured on the site going to be exhibited? Can you just explain what artwork we're talking about specifically?
What's this with me?
It's in its ropey form in the back room.
Okay.
It's well, to be honest, I mean, the old exhibition thing is a bit. It's not really the purpose of it. The thing is, it's about sort of visuals being sort of accessible and available in the sort of digital form, and I think when you do an exhibition, it becomes a different thing. It becomes a very personal sort of moment. And this isn't a personal thing; it's about the band. So I don't really want to make it into an exhibition. Hopefully, some of the images we're going to blow up onto sort of big light boxes and have them at the sort of party we're doing, in December with the sort of boys coming down to Bristol. But that'd be it for now. There's no big plans, to be honest.
Do you want to say a bit about the party then, seeing as you mentioned it?
It's going to be great.
Yeah, there's well, every year we have this, big party in Bristol, and in fact, I'm not going to start advertising the club. There's a new club that's opening, and you've got Liam and James.
He's a resident DJ.
No, I'm not at all.
Are you playing there tomorrow night, by any chance?
Yeah.
That's start your residency.
Yeah, that's it. Every other Saturday. Now, there's a new club opening in Bristol, and we're kind of doing a party there, really. And it's Liam, his good friend Dee's, and James and stuff like that coming down.
But there is quite a tradition of massive parties at Christmas, isn't there? Going back all the way back to the Wild Bunch, and the party that I went to at the Brunel Sheds at Christmas '86 or whatever it was with Jerry Dammers.
Yeah.
That was quite a bender, I seem to remember.
But like you said, there's always been a tradition of us doing parties,
Parties on the Downs and sound systems and stuff like that.
Definitely, mate.
So are you going to be exhibiting some of the art at the party then? from?
No, I think we should try and do some on the stage where the DJs are, make it
Okay.
sort of funky, but nothing more elaborate than that, really.
Okay, cool. All right.
That's a full stop.
Okay, Stu Martin asked Massive Attack, any plans for more gigs in Bristol? I still haven't got over the Anson Rooms gigs ago. It was 4, wasn't it? 4 or 5? 4, I think.
4 gigs, yeah.
4 gigs in December '98. See you in Nanji's shop soon, I expect. I'm the tall guy with glasses who says hello to you in Surround St Andrews, if that means anything whatsoever.
I love that guy.
Who's he talking about?
You, I think. No, 'cause I think both of us, we're both looking around that. Me and G live on the same road, can you believe it?
Yeah.
In the same city, which is quite bizarre, isn't it? And it was all
Is that a
accidental.
chance? Or is that like the Beatles in Help then? You all wanted to buy houses sort of next to each other so you could all sort of borrow pints of milk?
Exactly. You
Well,
summed it right up, mate.
Dee's got about 2 or 3 houses in Bristol, actually, so...
Yeah, I think I've got the same amount of properties as you own in Bristol.
It's like Monopoly, isn't it? Do you sort of club 4 houses together to get a big sort of red
It's all old
hotel?
Kent Road, mate, and Whitechapel, what's the problem?
So presumably Bristol gigs will be part of the tour. I mean, there's no actual plans for a tour of any sort till next till the album comes out.
There's always that thing about you talking about Bristol, you know, we always have it's well documented about what we said about Bristol, that it's kind of quite sad that a sort of municipal city like Bristol that hasn't got that many places to play, you know. And it's really quite a sad sort of indictment on the city, on the place really, that the fact that bands like Portishead, us, Ronnie and that lot come from here, and there's just nothing to attract, you know, a bigger audience to.
It's a fucking sad indictment on the way the city's set up culturally, you know. I
Well,
mean,
you
I
were
think
forced to
the
play
city-
4. Sorry.
I'm saying the city it borrows a lot from its, in terms of it being a sort of a city, in inverted commas, from its kind of like its individuals, you know, and groups of people who make things happen. But there's a very sort of serious lack of communication between the artists, if you want to call it, of the city, the people of the city, and the council and the planners. And there's a major gap there, and it just leaves a real fucking void in the city and a big hole, you know. When you get to a lot of places like Dublin, in sort of like close to home, even Glasgow, London obviously is not, can't really include London being a capital city, being the centre of attention, but other cities in Europe, you know, Milan and Rome and fucking sort of like Paris, Berlin, there's a great sort of connection between the culture, the artists, the people and the city. It feels, when you walk into a city like that, when you go on tour for instance, being lucky enough to visit them, you can feel the place and you can feel the connection between the people in the city as an identity, whereas Bristol just seems to sort of rely on its past history and that is it. It's a maritime port and that's it. That's all we got going for ourselves, and there's no identity apart from that. And because of the sort of like the major sort of rise in student population, it's almost become like a beach town where everything dies when the students go home, and that's a real shame because Bristol had a real sort of proper identity years ago, had a real sort of feeling for itself, but that's been sort of drained out of it. And I think it's about time those communications were sort of open, the lines are open, and people sort of like discussing what the city needs as opposed to what the business needs, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Well, what do you think the city needs, G, to make it a more vibrant cultural place?
You know, not meaning to be sort of colloquial about what we're talking about, but you know, it's a city where we come from, and you know, we want to be proud of where we come from, and you know, for starters, they need to sort of readdress the fact that there's certain things that are putting Bristol on the map, you know, and they should actually sort of put a bit of money back into the arts and whatever, really, you know what I mean?
Right,
To
I
sort
see.
of enhance what's going on.
I mean, do you think the Bristol car site is kind of sort of held back by its slavery heritage? And there's a famous stuff about you refusing to play at the Colston Hall because of Edward Colston's.
Well, there's that
slavery.
element, yeah, but you know, I think, to be honest, you know, getting down to brass tacks, you know, it's fucking sad, really. You know, that's the bottom line. You know, we're trying to campaign for something, to, you know, a bigger place for bands to play and stuff like that, but you know, no one's listening. And like Dee's saying, you know, there should be more communication between the higher authorities and, you know, the people who are actually, you know, putting this place on the map.
It's a simple thing. It's an international problem. It's about taxes. It's about how your money's spent. It's about, you know, what sort of say you have in your environment you live in. It's been there forever. It's never going to change. But there can be things done to sort of influence the way things work, and you know, environments for people to sort of like develop the things in the city which are good. Do you know what I mean? That need to be done. I mean, you know, studio space, rehearsal space for live gigs. Do you know what I mean? More money into art, visual art, theatre. I mean, everything's going on. There's obviously a lot of TV down there. There's the Watershed, there's the Armafini, there's Aardman Animation, there's bands, but they're all very isolated. They're all islands. Do you know what I mean? They're very separate. You know, and every time something happens in the city, a new building opens, whatever. It never seems to be that anyone had any communication, any idea of what was going to happen. It turns up, it appears. Millions of pounds get spent, and people have to sort of decide after the event It just seems ridiculous that communication isn't there.
I mean, you've chosen to sort of carry on working in Bristol. You're obviously both from Bristol. Your backup team, your studio people, your technicians are all local people. I mean, was there a point where you both decided, right, we're going to stay put, we're going to make the most of it here, we're going to make our studio a creative place, or is it you just happy living here?
I mean, you know, we spend a lot of time in London, obviously, like everyone does. Who who works in the same business we do, and we've got a lot of friends up there, and a lot of work up there. But it's not.